Hi everybody, SCFC fans react. I'm Sean Middleton. Obviously breaking news. I think everybody will have heard by now. It was a couple hours ago. I've just finished work, so I'm just quickly going to read a statement out by the club. Suddenly SC today announced that the departure of Lee Johnson head coach. The 40-year-old who arrived at the stadium night in December 2020 has left the club with immediate effect alongside his assistant head coach Jamie McAllister. Johnson got SCFC to 41 wins in 75 games, including the club's first victory at the Wembley Stadium since 1973. He was named League One Manager of the Month on 2 occasions. KLD briefly said, "I would like to thank Lee for his commitment and endeavour over the past 14 months. We regret that we have had to take this decision, but felt immediate change was needed. We firmly believe that this is in the best interest of Sunderland FC as we strive to earn promotion this season. Lee and Jamie will always be welcome at the stadium light, and they depart with our best wishes." I think the defeat yesterday, it was, the 6-0 defeat. I mean, I was interviewing the fans, and 6-0 in any form of it doesn't matter if you're in the Premier League, in the Championship, League One, League Two. It doesn't matter what league. It's a bad result. You got to think this is the worst division that we've been in our history. And getting beat 6-0, it's not going to go down well. But that hasn't happened just the once. We got stuffed down at Rotherham 5. Rotherham's a good side. Got beat 5-1 down there. 4-0 down Portsmouth. People blame the rain, but I'm surprised people haven't blamed the wind for yesterday. To be fair, but look, we were well beaten. And people say we're third in the table. Is it a bit harsh? No, not for me. I think it's the right decision. Albeit the timing, the 17 games left. I've just looked at the table there. There's 17 games left to play for. But, if we get this manager right now, if we can get the right appointment in, and he hits the ground running, and there's definitely, you couldn't rule out the top two. You couldn't. But I mean, KLD and Spakeman, they've obviously looked at this, and they've seen these bad defeats, heavy defeats as well. I mean, we just rolled over yesterday. It was absolutely embarrassing. That game, 6-0, it's just utterly embarrassing. But look at my quick views on Lee Johnson. When he first come in, I thought, the job he done at Bristol City, I thought he'd done a decent job there. But I scrutinised his win ratio, and it wasn't very good. But he had a good cup run. I think the League Cup, I think he got the semi-finals, and I thought, give the guy a chance. But I think the warning signs were there for everybody to see. Was last end of last season when we went on that really, really bad run. 8 games to go. Was within our grasp to get the top 2, and we just fell to pieces. And you all know the playoffs. You go into the playoffs. It's always the team who's in form. We were not in form. I think we'd won 2 out of about 11 games. That's not good enough. I think that was the point where, for me, I would have made a change. Obviously, after the playoffs, when we got beat down Lincoln, and yes, the return leg, the fans are back on the ground, and we made some noise. We got behind that team that day. We got it 2-0. It was all square, but then second half, typical. Lincoln come out and they got the goal, and it wasn't meant to be. But for me, I mean, looking at these games, I'm trying to find his win ratio, but I was trying to find it earlier on. His win ratio, I don't know where it is now, but his win ratio I think it was actually better than Ross and Parkinson. I'll have a quick look. Oh, where was it? I should have had this sorted. I've just quickly done this just because I haven't got anybody else to come in with us on the stream as well. But career statistics, 2 seconds. I think I've got it there. As a manager, I've got it there. Win ratio, 51.3% for Sunderland from the 5th of December till obviously the 30th of January. So 51.3. I'm pretty sure that's one of the highest. But you got to think the league we're in, etc., etc. I'll go to the comments because I'm just by myself here, and I'm just trying to get people involved. But Thomas Huggett, he's commented there. Gordon Seymour, I think John Terry is seeking a managerial job. He would knock the players into shape. Morgan Gray, good evening, mate. Correct decision in my opinion. Yeah, it is for me, Morgan. He's obviously the cameraman. CR 1987. Check the betting odds. Big Dunk, McCann, and Ainsworth. It's so it's it's one of them. But look at for me, as I've said there, it's people and say it's harsh. We're third on the table, but it's the way we're losing games. If you lose, it's the way you're losing. And that's a mentality thing. I don't know if any of you seen as well, but when the club put the statement out about Lee Johnson going, Aidan O'Brien had liked the statement about, I think, Jimmy McAllister as well. So he obviously the background staff. Jimmy McAllister, he's obviously went as well, and Aidan O'Brien had liked the tweet. So you're wondering if he's, you hear rumours that he's not very nice to people, and you're obviously the Chris Maguire situation. What happened there? I mean, why would you not want Chris Maguire? Yes, he's not consistent, but he's a match winner, and that proved in the game against Lincoln. He scored a hat trick. He's got that quality, and I would still have kept him just out of just for that quality, and you can bring him on and you can change your game. But it's just one of them. Marion Charles said, "Hello, Sean. Good riddance. It had to come. Happy days onwards and upwards." Yeah, I like to see it. I think the timing for me is it's very, very strange. But the way I'm looking at this is KLD. He means business. He obviously means business. He's not accepting mediocrity, and he's not accepting these piss poor performances. Yeah, from the manager, or you couldn't say the players as well. So I think that speaks volumes about KLD. I'm assuming that he's got somebody lined up, but to do it the way he's done it, he's got to have a backup plan. Him and Speakman, they seem well organised, and people, you can see it's a knee-jerk reaction. Not for me. Like you see, it's there's 17 games left. 17 games. I mean, that's a lot of points to play for. Wigan's got game in hand. You look at it, 17 times. That's 51 points to play for. 51 points. It's a lot of points. And you look at it and you think, the people saying the top two is gone, but if you get the right manager in right now, yeah, I'm not saying that that's going to be. I mean, like you say, Dalton Ferguson's being linked. He's just left his role at Everton. I think that Frank Lampard's just signed a 1.5 year deal, so he'll be bringing his own men in with him. So he's got experience at Everton. He's a type of he'll be a no-nonsense manager, a bit like Roy King. Could that be appointment? There's no sort of names which hit me in the face. But I would have loved Chris Wilder. Yeah, I know he went to Middlesbrough. And I think John Stanley said as well, why would Chris Wilder come to League One? But to be honest, he got Sheffield United. He took them from League One to the Championship, and from the Championship to the Premier League. He's an experienced veteran. He's a good manager. I think the reason why Sheffield United probably suffered the way they did was because of they didn't win the Premier League, and they stayed up that season. They had a great year. The next year they just didn't spend the money. So look, give us some of your thoughts in the comments. Put some of the names in there. I'll try and read some out. We are live, like you see. Spread the word, and if I can try and get a couple more people on with us, I'll try. I tried Gilesley earlier on, and he never replied to come back onto us. So unbelievable about that. Derek Hutchison. So I think he says something there. Big Sam. I mean, who wouldn't want Big Sam back? The job he did was quite phenomenal, wasn't it? He come in and it took a while, but it was like you've got to think it's Premier League football as well. He sorted the defence out. And look, it's. I'd love to see Big Sam come back, but you're talking it's about money and things like that. But that's what it could probably boil down to. Can I just ask in the chat? Can you? You can all hear me voice? Yeah, I think I've muted me sound. For some reason. Can you all hear us? Yeah. I haven't started this, and there's no sound. Can you just give us a thumbs up so you can hear us? I can quickly go into YouTube and chat but I can't hear me voice myself. Yeah, CR 97 says you're fine, mate. You see, it's you know that game yesterday. Going back to that game yesterday, you know, Bolton. Let's give Bolton some credit. They scored some great goals. We made it very easy for them. Yeah, we rolled over as we've done a lot under Johnson. But you know, like to go down there, 5,500 fans went down there. They were making some noise. I could tell from the 5-10 minutes that we're not going to win this football match. Bolton scored a good goal, and then they got this. Obviously, they got the second goal just before half time. I think I'm not stuffing out rush, but I think that's at a point where Lee Johnson get the players in. Look, give them a good shout in that. See, look, this is not acceptable. Reorganise. What does Sunderland do? Come out second half, exactly the same, no difference. If anything, probably is even worse. So you look on that and then you think, then the third one went in, and it was another well-worked goal. The fourth went in, and at that point, a lot of the Sunderland fans went out, and I think I'm going to have to go because I had to get reactions outside. And obviously outside there was some angry supporters. I think if check the interviews they've done on the channel on the SSA Fans React, go and check them out. I got some good reactions. I also got Thug Dan and Thug on there, so it's good to speak to some Bolton fans as well. But it's just crazy, the timing's all crazy for me. But Sean, honestly, the game was absolutely disgraceful. Says the case you come and Jude. Just try and keep people involved here. Try to ask people to come on, but I'm just by myself, so just put them with me. Just done this quickly off the. So now everybody else has done it. I'm trying to think it up here. It's terrible out there. This, Jesus Christ, man. I'm seeing something I've not really seen. I'm going to read it out. 2 seconds. Right. All right. Bring your comments in. Like you see, and if you can share it on social media, share it on that as well. Well, why it does that? I'm gonna go. Mate, I'm just going to scroll back there. Wait there. Come on. Sorry, apologies. I haven't been on here for a while, so I'm just trying to get used to the. Can I drag the chat up? Do you know what? I'm gonna go on my phone. Yeah, and I'm just gonna read the comments out from there. I'll turn this down. I always got to keep Lovin Kelly's in there. Bradley Young, Evelyn Sean, Matthew Armstrong. In the day, it's not Johnson, it's the players. Right. Well, Matthew, if you would like to come on and discuss this further, I'll send you a link. You can come on if you want, Matthew Armstrong, if you want to tell us why you believe that it's the players and not Johnson. If anybody wants to come on, this is your time to do it. Just tell us if you want to come on. I'll send you a link. And you can. I want to people who's Johnson. Who think it's the wrong decision. Come on, I want to discuss it, man to man. Yeah. Question, Bradley Young, Sean, what manager would you bring in? Well, I know people think I'll probably be a bit deluded here, but I'd love to bring Big Sam back. And imagine if him and Defoe come back, that'd be a fair deal. But look at Big Sam is going to take money. And I think if he comes back for one more job, it's going to be for, probably a Premier League job. But you never know. You never know. There's that McCann's being linked. See, Duncan Ferguson has left Everton, so he's going to be in the mix. Paul from Fans React, it feels like I'm in the minority, but I would have kept him. Not making any excuses, but because some games were not good enough, but I think it still could have got us promoted. That's fair enough. Like, see, I want people to give their opinions. I respect them, but I think it's the right decision. I respect you as Paul. Fair enough, mate. Kildee wants to see him as the fans promotion. Also, please hit that like button. I haven't been on a live stream for ages. It feels like I've been for months and months. It's good to be back talking to you guys. So, Derek Hutchison, big up, Sean. I think I've read that earlier on. Yes, mate, you've nailed it. We were losing. The way we were losing, says Philip Stout. Matt MSC, I would like Claudio Ranieri, unpopular opinion. Aged year, he got the simplest things wrong and didn't learn from his mistakes. Did the players lose the faith? I think the players lost the manager. I think there was a combination of them both. We'll never know, to be fair, unless somebody comes out and talks, which I don't think will happen. Yep, I'm glad you can hear us. I can't hear my voice, which is probably a good thing. it's probably a good thing not hearing my voice. But it's just normally when I'm doing the streams with Matthew and the guys on our team, I hear my voice, but I can't hear it. But as long as you can hear us, that's the main thing. Gordon Seymour says 7 attempts on goal and 6 scored. Says everything. I could go to the stats and we'll have a look at the stats. Like I say, if anybody wants to come on, and they feel as though it's the wrong decision, Lee Johnson should have been given time, then I'll just have the link and talk about it. I've got no problem with that. I'm all for fair play, as you know that. Marion tells Sean, you're doing a great job. Thank you. Ian Donaldson, all right, Sean. Breaking Sunderland interview Duncan Ferguson. Right, that's 2 minutes ago. Is that actually true? Thomas Hoggett says he'll come on if you want. Thomas, can you send us a message to WhatsApp? I think you've got me, or Twitter. Send us the link on Twitter, and I'll bring you in. I'll bring you in, Thomas. So send us a DM. Giles, he says, can I come on? He's I'm part 10:36. So I try to get Jazzy on, but he's not fit. I'm not sure. I think he's not fit. Christmas has come late, Sean. Thean SAFC. Thean, if you want to come on for 5, give us a shout, and I'll send you the link. But you'll have to. I don't know how you're going to do because you're not on Twitter, are you? What about Daniel? Do you know? There's not many names. What sort of? When I put it, do you know? There's not many names out there. What's getting you the excitement? But I think it's just the division we're in, and we're going to be realistic. I mean, Roy Keane. I mean, would you have Roy Keane back? That's the one that's been, he's a no-nonsense manager. He'd come in, he'd sort them out. But a lot of people say, no, not Roy Keane, not Roy Keane. Cyber Jeff 1 said, I heard Kevin Keegan was on the list. Nice try, mate. Nathan Askew, he was a good manager. Unfortunately, he was too inconsistent. After watching yesterday, he clearly lost the dressing room before the game. There was a zero effort from anyone in that team. I totally agree as well. I think the way it's a combination of like that game, the Rotherham game, the 5-1, the Portsmouth game. People can see the rain was this, that, and the other. Look, it's just excuses for me. Both teams have got to adapt to that weather, and we just didn't. And anyway, I'll see if I can get Thomas in. In case you wanted to come on, said Ian Donaldson, I must have missed that. Right, 2 seconds. I'll send. Right, I'll have to. Whatever. Right, whatever. Link, invite. Right. I forgot how you do this again. Copy. Oh, yeah, right there. I'm not sure how you do this again. I think it's in here. Sorry, just give us 2 seconds. I'm just trying to think of this so I can get people involved, but I'm terrible at technology, aren't I? Right, so wait there. Where's that get sent now? So, right. 2 seconds now. I've got the link. Copy that. Acacia, I'll be sending the link now. Right, Acacia, I've sent you the link. Okay. So, Thomas, I'm waiting for Thomas as well. Oh, right. 2 seconds. Thomas, you can come in. Thomas, I've sent you the link as well, mate. Just sent you it there. Right.
You all right, Sean?
Yeah, sure, you all right?
Yeah, you?
Yeah. I think it was a bit surprised that obviously the timing of the occasion. I think that was, like I wasn't expecting it at all, to be fair. I thought they were going to give him time, but you look at it and you think there's 17 games left. There's a lot of points to still play for. Maybe there's a lot and thought, well, let's main business and let's react now. And that, I honestly believe, right? I believe, and I'm not sure what your feelings are, but I think we should have gotten rid of Lee Johnson after the playoff semis. I know what you think on that, but obviously, Keisha, your views on obviously the departure of Lee Johnson. What's your initial thoughts?
Honestly, Sean, can you remember when you kept saying when we were outside the stadium, like you were like, oh, when we kept saying about Lee Johnson about the
I know.
games we kept losing. I think it should have just, I don't know. It was just shocking to me.
I think it's the timing. I'm like, I'm still like, do you know? Look at end of the day. What I will say is, and everybody knows my opinions on Lee Johnson. I didn't like the bloke. I did get told this, and I'm going to see it now. Well, obviously the season ticket holder, it was at the behind at the side where at the end of the game when he stuck his finger up. I pulled in the garage before, and the guy, he went, Sean, he went, when he got 2 minutes, I went, I've got 2 minutes. He says, look, he went, Lee Johnson, I was talking to that guy who he, and I exactly what went on. I was there. He said, I was there. And Lee Johnson, right, the guy, I sat with him for like years and years, about season cards for years. I wrote a part at the same like he said, all he said was Lee Johnson come across. He said, look, Lee, can you please leave our club? I says, and like in that tone as well, just like that. He went, yes, that's exactly what he said it. And Lee Johnson went, like this, excuse me, language. That's exactly what he said to the supporter who's been there supporting for 30, 40 years. So there you go. That tells you a little bit of an insight into Lee Johnson. And that was I was well past that by then, but I got told that, and that was just another example of what type of person, type of bloke he is. And I think there's some former players who've played for us and said the same things as well. That he's not a nice person. If you're not a nice person and you don't know how to talk to footballers, they're not going to want to play for you. So Acacia, just adding more to your opinions on Lee Johnson and where you think we should go now.
But to be honest, Sean, I think we should definitely still get promoted, but we need a good manager that can actually take us up, get good players in.
Yeah.
But I think Lyndon Gooch should just go because he's been terrible lately.
Yeah, the shotter.
I agree.
Yesterday, didn't he? He was, it just, as Baz said, Baz who interviewed, and I like Baz because he says it how it is, and he's a very passionate guy, and he just went, run. That's all he does. There's no end product. Just moving on, Acacia, I'll come back here in a second. Thomas joined us. Thomas, the timing, it was a bit of a surprise. I know we've been speaking quite a lot. Obviously, when I do the live pre-match outside the stadiums. I know you've come on. But what's your initial thoughts, obviously, on the news the breaking news a couple hours ago that Lee Johnson has obviously been sacked as the Sunderland manager?
Yeah, can you hear me all right? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, fine, yeah.
Fine. I think it came as a bit of a surprise to myself because I thought they would have given it the end of the season. Personally, I didn't think the ownership would have, say, the balls to pull this move to sack him. I agree with what you say, Sean. I think he should have gone at the end of last season when he completely embarrassingly flopped in the playoffs, even though he had easy 2 legs over Lincoln.
Yeah.
You know, when we're completely capitulated in that game. And it seems to be a continuous cycle where we play some good football, we get into a rut where we can't win, and then we seem to capitulate, and it ends up with a massive capitulation like at Portsmouth, like at Sheffield Wednesday, like at Rotherham, and now it's capitulated in what is undoubtedly, I'm going to say, the most embarrassing day in Sunderland's history.
Well, you say that, Thomas, and it is actually the worst. It is. It's like losing 6-0 in the third tier of English football. It's obviously we're in the lowest league we've ever been in. We've only ever been in this division once prior to this stint. Yeah. So you look at it and you see 6-0. That is the worst result in Sunderland Football Club's history.
It is undoubtedly, but you know, you can't escape that fact, and there needs to be consequences. There can't be no consequences for a result like that. It is far and beyond unacceptable. It's disgusting.
Where do you think it went? Where do you think it went wrong? Acacia, I was going to bring you in. Where do you think it went wrong for Lee Johnson? Where do you think it went wrong? Because for me, personally speaking, I think the warning signs were there back end of last season. Where do you think it went wrong for Lee Johnson, Acacia?
I think it was the game where we went to yesterday, Sean, when we played Bolton. I think it was just when we let those 6 goals in, it wasn't very good at all. Yeah,
it was. See, Acacia, it was the way we're folded. I mean, it was a combination of the don't get us wrong, Bolton scored some good goals in there, but we made it so easy. And it seems like every time a team scores a second or third, us the players they just crumble.
But they don't seem to have that mental capacity to play in these bigger stadiums. Like, fair enough, they can go to a Cheltenham or a Cambridge and they can cope fine. But when they're in that enclosed environment with, say, above 20,000 fans, they haven't got the mental capacity to handle it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm just sharing.
It just seems to be like a weak mentality.
Yeah, I'm just sharing this on.
I mean, do you two think that them players were playing for him? Do you think he'd lost the dressing room?
Nah.
Do you know what? Because when you see us in a couple of games where we're playing nice football, and this, I want to come this as well about the style of football as well. Like, people say, "Oh, Lee Johnson, he's got us playing really good football. He's got us playing this and that." And you watch all the Sunderland games, right? Every away game I went in the season, Sunderland always try to play out from the back. It goes back to Hoffman. It goes to Flanagan. He wasn't playing. Like Doyle, they're trying to pass it out from the back. Yeah, and it might look good, this, that, and the other, but it doesn't mean it's effective. I mean, Arsenal of years ago, Arsenal played the best football. They pass the ball and they try and create the greatest goal. That doesn't mean it's effective.
Do you think that we have improved any way than what we were under Phil Parkinson a year ago?
Well, we've probably improved in, obviously our attacking sense when score goals, but in a defensive. Me and Michael Bowers said this as well. Yes, I was talking Michael. In a defensive sense, I didn't like Ross or Parkinson, but at least they kept it solid and kept it together.
The stat that I seen was in 39 games under Parkinson, we only conceded 28 goals. I can list off 5 games where we've conceded over 20. You look at Arsenal, Rotherham, there's 10, 16 with the 6 yesterday, 4 at Portsmouth. That's 20 goals in 4 games.
I know. That's exactly. I mean, Jesus.
That's unacceptable.
Our goal difference, I mean, you look at our goal difference as well. That's massively affected. I mean, even if it was to come close between us and Rotherham and Wigan going to the last year, like that's 2-3 games. Our goal difference is way off. We're never gonna if it ends well, we'll get the right man, Jimmy. We'll push it right at the end, and we're challenging, and it ends on the same points. We're not gonna map that goal difference up now. It's just too much.
But you still get these people where they'll say, I'm not having to go at anybody, but they'll say, when you lose 6-0, you may as well lose 1-0. You know what I mean? But you'll still get the same amount of points. But it doesn't work like that. Say if it does come down to goal difference on the last day and we lose out by a couple of goals, you'll look back at that game and go, we lost that game 6-0. That's why we didn't get promoted. Because
like that's what I'm saying. You can't, Acacia, losing 6-0, losing 5-1, losing 4-0, losing 3-0. Like at Sheffield Wednesday, that was a terrible night as well. Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah. But honestly, it's like, these games you're looking at, you're thinking, look, are we in the Premier League? Or are we in the when League One? I mean, looking back at some of the worst results in our history. I mean, the Southampton game in the Premier League when I think Virginia scored that unbelievably own goal by sliced it. That I think was that 8-1 that day.
8-0.
That's
8-0. Yeah.
Aston Villa game when
we also got beat 8-0 down Watford as well. I think 83.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look at these bad results, and that's in Premier League, not in League One. Look at, and you've got these journalists as well. I think Scott Wilson's just come out and said this, that, and the other. He said the time and then Sunderland's third.
You know what the worst thing is, though, Sean? They didn't even have to get out of second gear.
They didn't. No, they didn't.
That is the most worrying thing.
Yeah, it was. I mean, and you look at that team. I looked at that team yesterday, and I'm going, that team should be, not being big and disrespectful. It should be going down. It should be getting 3 points, get back on track. And you look at our bench. You've got Roberts. You had Pritchard on there. You had and Clark. You had 3 really good options off the bench as well. So we have got we've got a good squad. Do you think, Acacia, we've got a good squad? Do you think this squad's good enough? Do you think the squad's good enough?
The only player we should get rid of, obviously Lyndon Gooch, but I thought Patrick Roberts and Jack Clark should have started yesterday.
I agree as well.
I think it might be a case of maybe just getting them just that a bit more match fitness. I'm not sure, but I think eventually these guys will definitely come into the fold, won't they, Thomas?
Yeah, they will eventually under new management. This is the thing. The new manager could come in and say, "I don't like these players," and this is with what 1 day left of the transfer window. We're sacking a manager now. They should have been done before Christmas.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm just going to go to the live chat and we'll get you back in. Just going to try and keep people involved. Right. Super fun. It's just the Everton fan there. Stephen Hoggett, too right, Sean. He should have gone after the playoffs. Massive mistake. Fulwell 007. This was planned, no matter what the result was yesterday. Says your mum says, "Hi Sean, got your gut instinct was right from the start, and happy happy flappers, happy clappers that even see this coming." Yeah, well, look, I said I did say they would get sacked at some point in this season. I did say to everybody, but I didn't realize it would be this long in this season. I thought it would have been well gone by now. But
Sean, who would your top 3 be for manager?
Do you know what? I'm going to think about the box here, and I know it's a hard one, but I'd love to see Big Sam come back, and then people say, "Sean, away, stop being stupid." But look, he's out of a job. If the money's there and there's a plan, and it could be his last job, why not?
If the owner's ambitious enough.
I mean, Roy King, though, I think they said on the report, I was listening to their podcast earlier on, one of the guys made a good point. They said that Roy King, he set high standards in the Premier League and in the Championship. It was, but if he comes to League One and the standard of the play, and he mightn't like it, and might not go according to plan that one. So with the Roy King thing,
see, I think Duncan Ferguson could do that as well.
There's another one, Duncan Ferguson. I mean, he's just been released by Everton, hasn't he, Thomas? Yeah. So see that rumours are circulating around that. Just 2 seconds, guys. I just want to try and keep people involved in the chat, because it's the first time I've done a live stream for ages. To be fair, Bolton fans couldn't believe what their team did yesterday. We'll still go up, says Kevin Simmons. DJ Sizzler is in the house. Dave cracking his jokes. I got the match with Dave, top bloke. Even Di says the match was shocking. I'm glad he's gone. The highlights of the day is the jokes gone back. You know what? The best part of yesterday was driving down and driving back. It was actually the game was absolutely shambolic, wasn't it?
Yeah. Did you get back home all right yesterday?
Yeah. We got back. Do you know what? In case you were. I forgot to do my intro for the fan reaction, so I drive back to the ground.
I noticed you did it in the dark.
I mean, Morgan quickly done the intro, but then we got back into just over 2 hours.
When did you leave the ground, Sean? When did you leave the match?
It's about just after 6. Just after 6 we left. Just after 6. So I made one stop and filled the car, and then obviously that was...
I meant during the game. After what goal went in?
Oh, when the 4th goal went in, Thomas, that was it. 4th goal went in, and that was in. Loads of fans. And I said, I'm going to have to go outside and get the reactions. I tried to ring Morgan, his phone was turned off. So then I couldn't stand where I wanted to stand. I was like sort of just under the... Do you know what I mean? But anyway,
I had to... Yeah, me and my mum were at the game with my friend's brother, and when the 5th goal went in, we just left the ground.
And obviously I seen your mum. I think your mum says was your mum's first time she's ever left the ground as early as what you did. I think she'll not have been alone in that respect. I think it was thousands. So I mean, it was like say it was 5,500 went down there yesterday. It was unbelievable support by Sunderland, but you know, it was shocking, wasn't it? It was just that. Honestly, I'm not joking here. Like I've had some sad times as well, especially the Wembley ones. I mean, the Charlton, when I went down with my dad and my uncle Gary when I was a young kid in the Charlton, the 4-4 in '98. That was depressing. I was crying my eyes out. Obviously, so sad that. But you know, you grow up and you get strong. But yesterday was just, it was just like, is this actually happening? Is this actually happening? I mean, am I like on a you know, what the hell is going on?
Like nightmare.
Yeah.
No, it's just the worst nightmare. I was just, but anyway, was the one edits. It might have been planned. The players may have known he's bound to get the sack. Maybe pulled off a poor performance on purpose to make sure he gets the sack. Hence the hands helped at the end of the day. That's a fair point. That he's getting devil's advocate there. But no, like I say, it's. I mean, you look at the players and they've all been underperforming. I mean, I know the Portsmouth game last week. It's always good to beat Portsmouth, but I still think it wasn't. Would you say that was a great performance? I mean, yes, we kept a clean sheet, but there wasn't very much happened in the game. I thought it was just one of them games where it could have went either way. Do you know what I mean? I mean, if he lost that game, if we didn't win that game, it could have been gone after that game, couldn't you, Keisha?
Yeah, because we could have scored more goals than just scoring one at least. I thought we could have scored about 3 or 4 goals.
Yeah.
But Yeah.
It's just, I know it's just one of them, innit? But look, I think now what the
I
club has
still
got to
believe
do.
there's a lot of dead wood within the club that needs clearing out.
Do you think?
There's a lot of players who I think that are been here too long. I think Flanagan's definitely one of them. I think, unfortunately, Lyndon Gooch is another one. I know he cares about the club, but I care about the club. It doesn't mean I'm good enough to play for them.
What do you think about Jermaine Defoe? Yeah, the possibility of Jermaine Defoe now coming as a player. Can you imagine if Defoe comes back as the player now, then it would sort of come across that maybe it was Johnson who was jeopardising the deal going forward. What do you think on that, Thomas?
It would give the place a massive lift if you come in right now.
And that's what it needs.
You would put an extra 5,000 on the gate at the weekend.
That's what it needs right now. When do you know what? KLD, I respect him for what he's done. I mean, people see the timing. I think Jamsani put a good tweet earlier on. I don't know if he's saying it, but it was bang on what he said. I just want to. I'll read it out because I like that tweet where Joel put like. I've got a lot of time for Joel as well.
Yeah, he's a lovely lad, Joel.
Yeah, he said basically, Joel Jamsani, he said he's overseen some of the worst results in the club's history. We've won 7 from 22. Don't give me this, but we're third. Third doesn't get you automatically promoted. It's not good enough.
No,
and he's right.
Nice.
You know what I mean? End of the day, that I think that's what's happened. A lot of fans have accepted. Accepted the fact that we've dropped to League One. Should never accepted we're Sunderland. We're not meant to be in this division, and that our history tells you that as well. Our history tells you that we shouldn't be in this division. You know what I mean? Like you say, this is only our second ever stint in it, and I hope once we get out, we'll never ever return to this division. But
no, but I think one of the reasons why we are still here, and I think you would agree, Sean, is that when the club was purchased by Stuart Donald, the parachute money that was meant to be spent getting us back out of this division and the division above was taken by the previous owner.
Well, exactly. That's something there's nothing we can do about that. It's wrong in our eyes. It's
it is wrong.
But obviously, when they're the owners, that money is theirs. They can sort of do what they want, but they didn't put it. All they did was they cut all the costs. Him and Meffin and Donald Duck cut all the costs. Yeah, brought the cost down. Didn't spend any money. Brought 3 players in, and then
in my opinion, I still think Ellis Short is the one to blame for why we're here. But them two and the current one at the blame why we're still here.
See,
I always think Ellis Short gets off the hook a lot.
I've had this thing with plenty of arguments about the Ellis Short thing. I mean, yes,
I agree with what you think about Ellis Short.
Yeah, I think ultimately you're right. It was his issue, his problem that we found ourselves in the division, because in the championship, I mean, he didn't spend.
He did
any money.
nothing to save this club from sinking.
But he also appointed Chris Coleman, and it was the guy before that again. It was Simon Grayson. He appointed Simon Grayson and Chris Coleman. And to be fair, 2 managers didn't work out. And
they never had any backing though. They were on a hiding to nothing.
Aye, they didn't do that. I mean, look at Lewis Grabban as well. Lewis Grabban was our striker, scoring the goals, and then he ends up going, leaving in the January. What was all about?
I don't know what you think, but I always think the same about Parkinson as well. I always think he was dealt a backhander.
Aye, quite possible. I mean, Jack Ross had a good squad, didn't he? That's all. Be honest, Jack Ross, he come in, and in that first season, I honestly believe that if we've got an half-decent manager in that first season, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about League One football. It would have been out of the division, gone. Stuart Donald would have been gone. He would have sold the club on to people who had more money and could have took us forward. He wasn't going to be the one to take us forward. He was just taking the minute. He's still lingering in the background. He wants to get his big idea. He's still got shares in the club. Once he gets,
they've still got the fingers in the pie.
Yeah, that's all it was. When Donald and Meffin got this club, they honestly thought they'd won the lottery. They thought they won the lottery.
But because they still have that, one has 20%, the other two have a joint, 10% or something? Because they have them shares, they have to therefore invest that percentage of whatever we spend on transfer, player, the pitch. And because they're not doing that, that's why there's no money being spent.
No, I think because he's the majority shareholder now, KLD, I think he owns over 50%. I think he calls all the shots I think he. I could be wrong. I don't think they have any sort of say in that now going forward. I'm hoping they don't anyway. But look, going back to how we ended up being in this division, I think back to the Ella Short thing. I think he's got to take some form of the blame. I've had many arguments over the years on other channels that I was on, and with guys on there. I've had plenty of arguments, but I think the thing about the Short is he just didn't have somebody with the football knowledge. If he just had kept Niall Quinn left in 2000, I think 12 was it or 11?
Yeah,
and I think that's
when I remember when Roy Keane left, and Roy Keane was the first person who saw what Ella Short was, and he pointed it out.
Yeah,
and that was decades ago. That was in 2009 or something. He seen that.
Exactly. I'm just trying to go up at the comments again. Keep people involved. Defoe coming in. Johnson. Sorry, side plot. Defoe coming in, and Johnson didn't want him. Stephen Tatham. My mum says felt sorry for the 6,000 fans who travelled down to witness that humiliating defeat. But can things only get better, as they say? AJJ, forget Defoe. We can't defend. We can't defend, but you bring a manager in and they can sort that out. Hopefully. Leifel says, hi, Acacia. I called it yesterday, and we need a manager who's old schooled and has history. So there you go.
I mean, did you see the tweet the other day that somebody put a tweet where they spun it and said that we've acquired, what was it, £45 million worth of talent, and they totted up all the transfer fees of all the players that we've signed, and they basically added them all up. But when you look at it, Pritchard, free, Bath, free, Dejaku, loan, and the other one was a loan. So basically, we've acquired all this talent, but we've spent nothing on it. So what do we expect when we're getting players on frees?
Yeah, I know. It's I'm just, you know what? One good thing I can think about now is, for me, Speakman and KLD have got me optimistic for the future for our club. I think the foundations are there. I think KLD's a young guy, multi-billionaire. He's hungry. He wants success. I think the sacking is definitely proved that he's not going to accept, mediocrity, and he's proved that. I mean, we're third, you can say we're third in the table, but Wigan and Rotherham have got loads of games in hand. They win the games in hand, they'll be gone out of the forget them. You know what I mean? But I think the change now. That's people say it's knee jerk and this that, but I think it's the right call. I think it's the right time, and I think there's 17 games left. I think we worked it out earlier on in Kish. I think it was 50 something points. It's a lot of points to play for. It's still a lot of time, and there's enough time,
isn't it? 51 points.
Enough time to try and keep the pressure on Rotherham and Wigan and try and get in that top two.
That's the thing, though. Them two above us are going to falter at one point or another. Yeah. But then we have to keep winning. And under Johnson, I did have no confidence. I had no confidence at all that we would keep winning. I didn't understand. For me, like, I didn't understand when I was doing interviews, and the fans that I didn't understand why they wanted to give him more time. Well, I said, why would you not give Jack Ross and Phil Parkinson more time? Why? What has Lee Johnson got different to what the other two his other two predecessors? Why should he be given more time? That's my question, Donald Sunderland fan. Why should Lee Johnson, be given more time than the other two guys? Did Ross or Parkinson lose 6-0, 5-1, 4-0? No, I think their heaviest defeats, the two of them was. I could be wrong here. Ross got beat down Peterborough 3-0.
That was his biggest defeat.
And Parkinson's, I think, was either at Portsmouth both times 2-0 and 3-1.
Yeah, see, and that's. I mean, that's a defeat. But you look at it and you say, well, 6-0. People can see what they want. But I'll remember Lee Johnson. I remember him. I remember him for having the biggest loss in our whole entire history. That's what I remember Lee Johnson for. That's what I'll remember that guy for. Yep. And I won't miss him. I don't like to see anybody lose a job. I mean, we all, we have all got to go to work, and he's obviously got to find a new job now. So that's the sad part about it. But I will not miss him one bit. I'm glad he's being sacked. That's the right call for me. But now we've got to make the right call, bring the new man in. So who do you think that is? I'll let you go first, Thomas. Who do you think would be the man to get us out of this division?
I think the perfect man. There's a few for me. I have about 3 or 4. That is obviously Keane. I think he would come back. Roy Keane. I think he's got unfinished business at Sunderland. I think Duncan Ferguson might be a shout. He'd come in, rustle a few feathers. I think experienced League One managers who have promotions on the CV. Grant McCann might not be a bad one, but I think the one for me would be Neil Warnock till the end of the season.
Do you know what? That's a good call. That, and I think there's a lot of people on Twitter. I'm not on Facebook, or I'm only on Twitter, but there's a lot of people on Twitter who saying that, like Neil Warnock. No way. But I tell you something now. What Neil Warnock brings you, he gives you that experience.
Yeah, he sorts defences out as well.
He'd sort the defence out. Yeah, I mean, I think I said it earlier on. I would love to have seen Chris Wilder. That would have been my dream appointment. He'd done an excellent job at Sheffield United. And do you know what? As well, there's people who said Chris Wilder wouldn't come down to League One. Well, I'll tell you something now. He was at League One with Sheffield United. He got him promoted to the Championship, and then he got him to the Premier League, and he done well in the Premier League. So why would Chris Wilder have not? Why would Chris Wilder not have come to Sunderland?
I can't answer that.
Do you think Chris Wilder would have come to Sunderland?
Depending on what games he would have won, what games he would have lost.
No, but he managed Sheffield United in League One. I think if the owner has got a plan there, and he say, look, it's all if buts and maybes in it. I mean, that would have been.
I think Chris Wilder probably thinks he's better than League One.
Well, he probably is better than League One. It's proven.
He probably thinks he's a Premier League standard, top end Championship manager.
Because we did all right in League One when he got us promoted to the Championship. But that was the only time that we were quite good.
Do you know what I would do, Sean? Tomorrow, deadline day, I would go in for Ladapo at Rotherham. I would sign him. I would stick him up front, and then I would, at the last hour, I would recall Will Grigg.
All right,
just to screw them over.
There's the one for you.
just to screw them over, so they have no options up front.
Thomas is playing a chess game here.
You don't even have to play Grigg. Just put him in the 23s or put him on the bench.
There's not many Sunderland fans would have said that, but that's the one that let's see about. Right. Anyway, just going back to the live chat. Remember to hit that like button, please, and go and check the latest fans' reactions out. They were on the channel last night. I got home, drove home, and I tried to edit them as quick as I could, so they're on there. So go and check them out. Go and check the interviews out, please. I don't think it was disappointed, as it was a sad day, but the fans speaks volumes. And look what's happened today. Lee Johnson has gone. Please subscribe to the channel as well. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost a penny.
It doesn't cost a penny.
It doesn't cost a penny. Yeah. And we're trying to get to 5K, but we're not. I was going to say struggling there. We're trying to get to 3 first, but I'd like to see us to get to 5, and then so on and so on.
Who would be your choice of manager, Sean?
Do you know what? I kind of. There's not.
Or who would both of you? Who would you both have?
Go on, you go first, Sean.
You're Big Sam, don't you?
Big Sam, but it's not going to happen, is it? I'm just trying to be realistic, and I think you said Neil Warnock. His experience, he loves Sunderland as well. Apparently wanted to come years ago, but it never happened. So Neil Warnock.
He said it was his biggest regret in football.
Yeah. But like I say, there's been plenty of names. But for me personally speaking, KLD and Speakman have had a battle plan, and they know exactly who they're bringing in. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an announcement in the next couple of days. Someone's new manager.
Yeah,
that's what I think. What do you think, Thomas? Do you think they might wait a little bit, or do you think it's going to be a decision made quickly?
I don't think they would have made this decision without knowing who they were going to bring in, or having an idea who they were going to bring in. I know when Parkinson was sacked, there was a few weeks before Johnson came in, but obviously we had the ownership situation and all that. But they've got to have somebody lined up, surely.
They've got to have. I mean, look at like the timing for me. I thought I put my hands up and I went, do you know what? I'm resigning to the fact that Lee Johnson's going to be here to the end of the season.
So was that.
He's going to be here. Just let's just get behind the players, get behind the team. We love Sunderland. We'll get behind them. I couldn't stand the bloke. I didn't like him, which I told you earlier on. Well, I got told of a guy, and I've been told other things as well. Actually delivered to Pritchard, Alex Pritchard. I delivered a parcel to his house the other week, and I was going to say, what you think? What you feelings of Lee Johnson? No, I'll not say anything. There's nothing on us. I'm not recording. What's your feelings of him? Then when people
clearly Aidan O'Brien doesn't like him.
I liked the tweet when Jim McAllister was departing as well. He liked it, didn't he? So he could be.
He doesn't play him, does he?
Because I think it'll be Aidan O'Brien or be gone, because I've seen he's changed his Twitter, like his bio and stuff, and his profile picture back to the Millwall pictures.
I'm trying to get the odds up. See if I can just quickly get
just which positions do you two think we need to get resolved tomorrow?
A centre and a striker.
I agree, definitely. Do you know what? I might even go as far to say a new goalkeeper and a new centre half.
He's the early odds for you. I've just getting. I've done on the website. I don't know if it's reliable. I'm just Bet365. I think it is right. Betfictor, sorry. Grant McCann is the early book. The bookies' favourite.
So these are going down in odds of favourites.
So 4-1. So he's the favourite. Paul Cook 6-1, second favourite. Steve Bruce. Steve Bruce 8-1. Oh, where? Steve Bruce. Neil Lennon 10-1. Simon Grayson. That's somebody's tapping the mic here.
Simon Grayson, no.
Did a mag make these?
Jonathan Woodgate 12-1. Betfictor. I'm changing the bookies here. Betfictor have got Duncan Ferguson as the 5-4 favourite. Grant McCann is at 3-1. Gareth Ainsworth is at 8-1. John Terry 10-1. There's a shout, John Terry. Do you fancy a bit of John Terry? Steve Bruce 12-1.
Not
Paul
yet, no.
I can't look at that, but that's
if you did bring some big name in like Terry, though, you know, you see that affects hard on like Villa with Gerrard and, you know, Lampard going to Everton. These players are going to want to play under these legends of the game, aren't they?
Of course.
That's what attracts. I think now it isn't the clubs that attract the players. It's whoever's in whoever the manager is, because, you know, if you're a player and you're going to want to sign from Manchester United or Man City, you're going to want to go to Man City because of Guardiola, aren't you?
Of course. Yeah.
The manager's a big pull factor these days.
Right.
Can I ask you both a question, quick?
All right, then.
What do you both think of Callum Doyle?
Of Callum Doyle?
This season, his performances. I think he is, for the age that he's at and the league that he's playing in, 17-18, to be playing men's football, I think he's doing very, very well. His development there is a player in there. It needs coaching. I think he will be a top Premier League player. Maybe he's not Man City level, but maybe he's just far down. But I think the lad is mentally knackered, and I think he needs a rest.
Do you know what? I thought Callum Doyle started the season really well. But again, this comes down to, for me, the manager. I think he's struggling, as Thomas has just said there. I think he's been struggling a little bit lately. Now, that's at the point where the manager is going to say that. He's struggling with confidence.
Rotation.
Yeah? Bring him out, you know, put your arm around him, say a few nice words, get on that training pitch and, you know, say positive things to him and get that confidence back. And I think that's what the lad's just lacking. He's only 18-year-old. The potential there is massive for Callum Doyle. The potential is huge for him, but he hasn't been the same for a few games for me now. Just going back to the
same about Dan Neil?
I think Dan Neil. I think since the Burnley speculation, I think that's definitely
turned his head.
I think the reason I'm saying this is I think his agent probably looked at it and says, "Look, Dan, if you go there, yeah, Premier League football, you could get 50, 60 grand a week, yeah, and a sign-on fee. You know, obviously these agents, they're like rotten in football. These want just money, yeah. So they put a little thing up there to the players. Look, we can get a good deal here, and it changes, you know, the player's mentality. There, you know, Dan Neil is a Sunderland lad. He loves Sunderland, but if an agent is in the ear and saying, "Look, we can get a good deal here," it's going to turn his head a little bit. It could be that. It could be that. It could be the case. He's been playing non-stop and he's just a little bit tired. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I'm hoping it's that he's just tired, and because he's just signed a new deal. He just hasn't. He just signed a new deal.
Yeah, it was like when I said to you, Doncaster, Sean, wasn't it? When I said that he definitely wants to stay when he signed the contract.
Yeah. Right, I'm just going to go to the live chat because I always like to try and keep everybody involved.
Yep.
Right, 2 seconds, because right. Adam French says Billy Sharp for manager. I think he's just taking the interview there.
He's still playing.
Kev
he's still playing.
He's the championship's all-time leading goal scorer.
Yeah, he scored 122 goals for us.
Yeah,
Party Goose said Ryan Mason did okay at Spurs' interim. Could be the up-and-coming manager. Well, there's a shout. Italian Danza, Drunken, Duncan, and Defoe. Oh, that's a cunning one. Terry and Defoe says Adam French. Carl Stewart, you heard about Mason Greenwood? I certainly did. Somebody said one of my friends sent us that it was absolutely disgusting. Absolutely,
I agree.
Revolting. That was by that's his career. Thinking now, totally.
Yeah, that's his career over.
Totally.
Yeah.
And,
as it should be as well.
Absolutely disgusting. That when I got sent to the day and I was at work and I felt physically when I was like disgusting. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it anyway. And sorry, I just, you know what I mean. Anyway, Lee Fowle says Callum Doyle is developing process, but he is a liability with terrible role models around him. Now there's the one.
Get them ones.
He's in the players around him.
I think when you're an 18-year-old kid and you're getting mentored by Tom Flanagan, there's always going to be a recipe for disaster there.
It's just
but
one of them.
You know, Sean, we've played this passing out from the back triangles with the goalkeeper, right? And since the start of the season, right? And I tell you what, it's going to be really interesting the next game on Saturday to see if Hoffman is kicking the ball out or he's balling it out with the 2 centre-halves. Because I think that manager was telling him to play like that. Because he thinks he's a League One Guardiola and he thinks we can play like Man City in a physical league. It's just delusional.
What I'm saying, this is what I'm saying about people saying that Lee Johnson, he's got them playing good football. Do you know what, Thomas? Occasion, like that doesn't mean that it's effective. Yeah. Good football, you've got to find the fine balance of know when to play it and when to.
People are saying good football. What I watched yesterday was worse than anything I've ever seen under Phil Parkinson or.
No, what they're saying is, I agree with you. Totally agree with you, Thomas. I think what they're saying is when we go for the good spells where we're winning 5-0 and we're playing some good stuff. Yeah, that's all fine and well. But you all know, everybody knows this, that throughout a season, you've got to be consistent throughout the season. You can't just have
You've got to be consistent over 46 games.
Well, exactly, and that's just something what Lee Johnson just can't do. And
people go on about, Johnson goes on about Pomo and UPS, Burn Game, Sharks and all this, and XG, right? They don't win your football matches, right? That table does not lie. And Sunderland, at the minute, are the 3rd best team in that league, and you'll see where they'll be after 46 games. That table does not lie.
Right. I've just been sent something by a guy off Twitter. He's just in the group there, Brett Gibb. I don't know how true this is. Yeah, I'm just reading it out. But Everton's assistant manager, obviously, Duncan Ferguson, to reject the offer of a set-piece coach by. I read that earlier on. But moving on, it says Ferguson was contacted by Sunderland about a vacant head coach role today. Seemingly are targeting first choice. The Scottish to visit Wayside for a formal interview early this week and putting together a potential backroom team prior to an interview.
So he has been released by Everton, yes?
Yeah, but I heard that earlier on. But I mean, let's talk about, because these seem to be ramping up about Duncan Ferguson. I mean, what's your feelings on that, Thomas? Do you think that'd be a good appointment?
If Duncan Ferguson was appointed tomorrow, I would get behind him.
All right.
Because Duncan Ferguson is one of these blokes where he's not about money. He just loves football. He's passionate about football. You're seeing Everton with him shouting about, running, picking up the ball boys and all that. And he's just a man who loves football, who cares about the sport. And it would just be so refreshing to have somebody like that who cares.
And just a quick in the live chat, Mark Rodham says, can you give a shout out to my mate Stu Martin? It's his birthday, so happy birthday to Stu Martin. I don't know how old he is, but happy birthday, Stu Martin, from everybody from the SCFC fans React. So I've read that out.
I've aged after watching that yesterday.
I even put it on the screen. There you go. It's on the screen as well. And that was a bad day, wasn't it? It was a really.
It was a bad day. You're right.
It was. Like you see, when I enjoy the driving down, the driving back more than the football. And Morgan was asleep, and Dave was asleep on the way back.
I'm gonna have to go in a few minutes anyway to call Morgan because I usually call him.
I know, but I just when you need to go, Kisha, I'll just try. See, I've been rambling on now for about an hour, so it's just a case. It's just a case of letting I think all the Sunderland YouTubers, Michael Bowers, Jamsoni, Gilesy, they've all put videos up, and I was a bit slow to react to being work, but like you see, a couple hours ago, breaking news: Lee Johnson has been sacked as the Sunderland manager. Quite surprisingly, by a lot of Sunderland fans, the timing. For me, like I say, I think it's the right decision. But let's hope now we can get the right man in charge. Adam French says Big Duncan and Mick Harford, 2 hot cases.
I throw Kevin Ball in there as well.
Oh God, can you imagine that?
And Lee Cattermole to getting under 18s and all that.
Oh, honestly, I would either take Duncan Ferguson or Grant McCann, to be honest.
It's what?
Duncan Ferguson I would take, like you two said, or Grant McCann.
Yeah.
But would you take Roy King?
I don't know, but
do you know what? I would because he come in and he demand.
He would, yeah.
He demand performances straight away, and you get respect from the players. Yes, some of the young players will be a bit because he's very outspoken and he's a sort of. Would you say he's an intimidating type of guy? But to the end of the season, when he came back, I don't think Kildale will go down that route. Like, to be fair, I don't think
he'd work with Del Boy and Rodney.
He wouldn't put up with them, would he? He would not put up with them. And we still don't know. I mean, KLD is the majority shareholder, and you would assume he's calling the shots, and he's done that.
Another one outside the box, I think, mentioned before is Nigel Clough. Now, Mansfield at the start of the season was second bottom of the league. They only won 1 game in 6, but since Clough's gone in, they've won 11 out of 12, and they're now 2 points off the top 3.
There you go. Look at Nigel Clough. He's done a good job at Bolton, didn't he? And he's a decent manager. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one.
From Sunderland as well.
Aye, well,
yeah.
I see his dad, Brian. Imagine if Brian Clough come to Sunderland, that would have been something else, wouldn't it?
Well, he said he would have walked over broken glass to manage Sunderland.
He did. He did. We
wouldn't be here right now. Would have won the European Cup twice.
No, can you imagine if Sunderland were talking about, when Forest won the European Cup twice? Imagine if Sunderland won the European Cup twice, man. Honestly, that would just be, wouldn't it? It would be something else, that, man. It would be something else.
You would have done it and all, I think. Would have brought all them players to here.
Yeah, but right, I think we've probably still got 100 and odd people in the chat, so I'm just trying to keep it active, because there's quite a few people in, and it's the first time I've been on for a while. It might be the last time for a while as well. But Thomas Skritzbazik, something like that. I couldn't pronounce his name. Right there. Yeah, he says Johnson didn't deserve to be sacked. Absolutely disgraceful. Didn't deserve to be sacked. There you go. Well, if you'd like to explain why, it's all about opinions, as was said. It's I think it was the right call, but we only would have knew if we went this season and then not getting promoted. Then you can say, well, there you go. But it's happened.
Just think if you were at your job and if you naked 600 grand's worth of whatever you make, there would be repercussions, wouldn't there?
Of course there would. And I mean, people, it's the one where people keep on saying, but we're third. Yes, but we're third. But Rotherham's got two games and us, yeah.
Yeah.
Wigan's got 4, yeah. We're losing games like, you know, massive. Like we're not just losing, but we're absolutely getting stuffed, aren't we? We're getting absolutely annihilated. It's just utterly embarrassing, like utterly embarrassing.
I mean, what was it? 1 in 5 were 1-7 in 22.
No, it's not good.
When you look at that, you know, there's only one team in the league that has conceded more away goals than Sunderland this season, and that is Doncaster Rovers, who are bottom of the league.
Exactly.
That is a rank stat.
It is, man. I just think the timing of it. I'm just thinking.
Do you two think we need a new goalkeeper?
I'm still not sure about Hoffman. Like, if I'm being totally honest, I'm not convinced.
I know where you're coming from, because I think he's being told to play out from the back. And you know, there was the quote from Einstein was saying the sign of a madman is he does the same thing over and over again and expects a different result, and we just seem to be doing it over and over again, and we're getting the same result, and we're not changing, and it's just complete lunacy.
James Copley from the Sun and Echo, the journalist, he's just said, I think personality is huge at a club like Sunderland. Johnson perhaps just didn't fit, despite talking well at times. Partey was dull, and Jack Ross was fairly measured. I've always felt Sunderland needed a rocket to get it going, someone to drag it, kick it, and screaming.
Yep, I agree with that.
He's nothing on the head there, like.
Because you remember when we were bottom of the Championship in 2006, when Quinn was in charge, and, you know, we'd just been relegated with 15 points the season before. Everybody was down B. You know, the players were rubbish, and we were at the bottom of the Championship. And Keane came in, he took the club by the scruff of the neck and dragged it to the top of that Championship table.
Exactly.
That's what we need, a lift. We need somebody who is going to get into them players, who's going to kick them up the arse. We need somebody like Ferguson, somebody like Keane, who's going to come in, make an impact. And then if you sign Jermaine Defoe on top of that, the place is going to be, you know, everyone's going to be happy again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That I think the next appointment is going to be absolutely huge. And
but we were saying that last time, though, Sean, when Parkinson got the sack.
Yeah, it was. As I'm saying, I think that, I mean, what you got to. I haven't made this point, but do you know what? That the appointment of Lee Johnson, that was apparently. That was Stuart Donald, and it was the guy who left.
Jim Rodwell.
Jim Rodwell. It was Jim Rodwell and Stuart Donald. That was their doing. That was.
That always confuses me, though, because Stuart Donald, Jim Rodwell, Methven, Wan, and all that, they sacked Parkinson. They brought in Johnson as his replacement, right? But this was all going on whilst the proposed takeover was going through. So if the new man comes in, Dreyfus comes in with these two, he might not want him as a manager. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is just another theory for me of why they're all in it together, I think.
Well,
along with the fact they wouldn't publish those reports about who owns what percentage of the club.
Well, that's a little bit, isn't it? It's a little bit strange why they want to see who's got what, and and you know, it doesn't make sense. That
just give us 2 seconds. I just go
yeah. But I'll just go back to live chat. Wait 2 seconds. Hit that like button and like you say, subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost a penny. Tasty Tucker. The season we finished on 15 points was my first season. Nothing now. Keane was a big reason for my love of football. That's a good point. Varsha's sexy boyfriend, Howard Wilkinson. That's just something taking a mick, surely. Not one man just shouts at the players these days. Need someone with character and motivational vibes, says Lee Farrell. Very active in the chat, Lee Farrell. Very active. Steve Thomas said, with the resources we have, the stadium, the fan base, the training facilities, etc., there's no excuse for us to be in this league. Yep, you're totally right. There's no excuse at all. Brett Gibbs says, got the news from the Sunday FC banter page on Facebook. Sent you at me, and he sent us more. Oh, so he sent us more things here. I'll see what the crack is on there. DJ Sisters says, how did you not get sacked for turning the Amazon van that's head? Yeah, that when Jesus never put the me van upside down. He's clever, him, like. Anyway.
It's a shame Dave wasn't there yesterday. He would have lightened the place up.
Oh, Dave, the way we would do, definitely would.
He would have still found positives in that yesterday, wouldn't he?
I think Giles. He said he's out until 10:30. I think he might be available. I'll see if I can get Giles again.
I'll be able to come on the stream on Saturday anyway, Sean, because I'm staying in Sunderland. So.
Oh, you're coming up, aye.
Are you doing a pre-match on Saturday, Sean?
I will be, mate. I was all the home games on a Saturday. Most of the mid games on a Tuesday.
You should start doing them for the away games.
Well, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about doing it for the away games. I was actually thinking about it.
I mean, you look at the next 5 games. What's the next 5 games? We've got Doncaster, Cheltenham, MK Dons, Wimbledon.
Mm-hmm.
And who was the other one? The 5th one was Wigan.
But we've got Burton on the 22nd of Feb.
Mm-hmm.
When we've got Fleetwood?
8th of March.
8th of March, right, okay. So that's our next 5 games is Doncaster, Cheltenham, Wimbledon, Burton and MK Dons. In your eye, should we be winning 5 out of 5?
What games
against Doncaster, yeah.
Should we, in your two opinions, should we be beating Doncaster on Saturday?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Should we be beating Wimbledon away?
Yeah.
Cheltenham away?
Yeah.
Yes.
Burton at home?
Yeah.
And MK Dons at home?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's 15 points out of 5 games.
Well, see, MK Dons it'll be difficult, but I'll still be confident.
Do you know, I'd go a step further, Sean. We need to win at Wigan as well.
Yeah.
To stand any chance of catching them, we need to win every game. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up now because we've been on for an hour and 15 minutes, and I've got to go to bed because I've got working tomorrow. So, thanks to everybody in the live chat. Like you see, the breaking news: Lee Johnson has been sacked as the Sunderland manager. So, from myself, Sean Middleton, and from Thomas and Acacia, we will see you later on in the week. Bye for now. Stay safe. Take care. Bye bye.